Season 3 wasn't that bad. I liked it. Of course, I haven't hated any of the seasons, but some have definitely been better than others so far. For some reason, I thought there was 8 seasons, but apparently there's only 6. Don't know why I thought there was 8. Um, so I did want to mention something that I have been forgetting to mention. They have a babysitter in the very first episode. I know continuity shit doesn't really matter because it's cartoon. But I still wanted to mention this, and that's the fact that Richard obviously fails to hire a good babysitter. He hires one, and when she gets there, she apparently thinks that babysitting is a literal, thing. So she's like, I'm here to sit on the baby. So Nicole is like, nope, we're not having her. Guess you guys are gonna have to stay home alone. But then Nicole never hires a babysitter, or Richard ever tries again. Just every other time we see them in an episode, they never try and hire a babysitter again. Ever. They're just home alone all the time. There's a whole episode about the fact that they left for a few hours because she knew that it would take forever to take out the trash and he'd keep putting it off. And it's just him and Darwin at home by themselves for the entire time. I need Richard somewhere, and then Nicole and Aeneas, or however you say it. Let's just say their sister went to the store with them. They also set up Rob, who becomes quite important later, from what I remember. Yeah, it was pretty obvious what they were doing with him, even though I knew what they were gonna do with him. It felt pretty random that out of all the forgotten characters, he was the only person there that we had already seen. Because I remembered him. He was literally in that season. And he only had one episode, and it was Gumball didn't know his name, so he's mad at him. And then Darwin pushes him in a sewer. So later when they want his help, he doesn't help them. Because of course he doesn't. So then later we get this episode where he's back and targeting them. Kind of like the eyeball episode, but, more dangerous or whatever. So, yeah, now he's set up and shit, and they actually have Molly, too. I completely forgot about her myself. I recognized who it was when they showed the picture. When they didn't show, the full picture was just a shadow of her. You didn't even really see any facial features or anything. I was just like, oh yeah, that's that dinosaur girl. I didn't know the name, but I recognized her. She was only in the treehouse episode, but there's plenty of characters that are only in one episode. Because the babysitter, for example, I don't think she's ever been in an episode again. Just a one-off gag. They also made a big deal ending the season of season 2 with this gag about how cartoons don't need continuity, and they're all being surrounded by a bunch of people that want to beat them up. And they're like, oh, we're only going to be saved by some magic device, and then the episode ends. But now in this season, they're really trying to go for more continuity. They've done some continuity, some hints at continuity in season 2, but it really comes in this season. We get this episode where Gumball is running through some house, and Banana Joe's mom is painting paintings of stuff that has not happened yet. Gumball walking in on Banana Joe's dad in the bathroom, and she's painting that picture when he gets into the house. And then he walks in on Banana Joe's dad. Well, later they make that into an episode where they go to a yard sale and they see a painting, and it's from like years ago. And it's a picture of Gumball in the mall naked with a leaf covering his, area. And he's like, what? That's never happened to me. And then he sees the date and he's like, oh, that's today. So they try and prevent it. And of course, Gumball causes it to happen because of that. And there's other stuff, but it's just like really minor that you kind of forget about it. Like you remember it while watching the show, but you don't remember it enough to be able to talk about it. But they just have like minor little details that they'll put in an episode, and then like 5, 6, 10, so many episodes later, that little tiny detail in one random episode will be important later. They also have Penny break out of her shell, which is something, I remembered. But they really don't do much with it. She is a background character after 2 episodes. She has a little episode where she breaks out of the shell, where we get a lot of, character development there. Then the next episode, she was like, well, I don't want to date you right now, Gumball, because Darwin's too jealous, and that is it. That is it. She's in the background talking to somebody in some episode, and we see her talk to somebody, I think, for like a little bit in one episode, but she really doesn't matter in that episode. They just kind of quit using Penny this season a lot after they broke her out of her shell. Mr. Robinson isn't used as much. He's still used, but definitely not as much. And they used Sarah a few times. I think it was only 3 episodes, though, out of the 40. So I'm guessing maybe she's used more in later seasons, because I really remember her being a reoccurring character. But I guess that's about it for this season. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. There were some really good moments. I still think my favorite joke so far out of all the 3 seasons was in this season, where they're chasing Rob and he's scared because they're obviously chasing him, so they want to try and not look like a threat. So they smile creepily. It does not help. Obvious. It's a pretty obvious joke. It's not the most creative joke, but I still thought it was pretty funny. And yeah, that's about it.